Hey, y'all. Welcome to Cross Politics on the Fight, Laugh, Feast Network. Pastor Toby Chuck Knox on the Waterboy. It's good to be with you. We have Robert Netzley, CEO of Inspire Investing, coming up. Maybe some sort of ESG for Christians, maybe?
No.
I don't know.
Don't do it. The Fight, Laugh, Feast conference is 2.5 months away.
Oh, we're putting time on it now.
2.5 months.
Wow.
Who's writing these things? Knoxville, Tennessee, October 6th through the 8th. Beer and Psalms. There's like too many exclamation points in this. Fellowship. Our amazing lineup. No, it doesn't really have an exclamation point. Speakers like George Gilder, Dr. Jared Longshore, Pastor Douglas Wilson, Dr. Ben Merkel, Bishop Toby. Who writes this? The family is a nuclear weapon, Sumter.
That's funny.
And Gabe hasn't secured our special surprise yet, so we can't tell you about it.
Will you hurry up and do that?
Put my name on this thing.
It's on you.
This is Gabe's fault. But we can tell you there will be awesome vendors, new friends to meet, and maybe your child's future spouse.
It's possible.
I
met my wife in Sunday school.
That's from Knox.
That's
from Knox.
Definitely.
They meet while playing in the jumpy castles.
No.
You better watch those jumpy
Yeah.
castles. Save money by signing up for a club membership. FightLaughFeast.com. Another exclamation point. Man, somebody just had
They're on
party
fire.
with
They're on
the
fire.
exclamation points. Become a member, sign up, register for the conference, get $100 off. We can't wait to fellowship with you, sing psalms with you, and celebrate God's goodness with you in Knoxville, October 6th through the 8th, where we're going to fight, laugh, and feast.
You know, next time I think we should write it with all question marks. Just to see how you
notice, like, I'm only OCD about a few things.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And this is one of them.
One of them is punctuation marks.
When we're writing inside of our document, it's funny to watch you like trace me, like, falling right behind me. I love it. I'm like, I need to make this program.
My mom, God love her. She's such a great mom. And man, like me and like a Becca English.
Yeah.
She just like banged it over the head until I was like kind of just sort of like, you know.
Yeah, you had PTSD.
Like, that's a run-on sentence. That's a fragment. Stop it. I'm sorry, Mom.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's funny.
Okay.
Anyway,
so thank you, Mom.
So in June, there was a unfortunate news report on a 10-year-old girl who was raped and then went to Indiana, went across state lines, and procured an abortion. Her mom scheduled the abortion.
Our president used that story to talk about pro-choice.
That's right.
Paid an assassin.
And then it kind of started to get buried. It kind of went out of the news and media, and later found out that an illegal immigrant had raped the 10-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the story's still catching legs. So you're kind of wondering, well, why are you guys
catching legs?
Yeah, you like that?
On Cross Politics.
I do.
Only.
Catch it.
Catching legs.
And so you're kind of wondering, well, why are we talking about this still in July? Well, because actually, Catherine Glenn Foster of American United for Life was testifying at Congress about abortion and pro-life and everything, and then it ended up on the View. But here's Catherine Glenn Foster talking, representing in front of Congress.
Do you think a 10-year-old should choose to carry a baby?
I believe it would probably impact her life, and so therefore it would fall under any exception and would not be an abortion.
Wait, it would not be an abortion if a 10-year-old with her parents made the decision not to have a baby that was a result of a rape?
It's a good follow-up.
If a 10-year-old became pregnant as a result of rape and it was threatening her life, then that's not an abortion. So it would not fall under any abortion restriction in our nation.
So Catherine is pro-life.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's confusing to us. We actually had to watch this video twice because, like, what did she really say what she said? And yes, she did.
I'm with the other guy. I'm with the guy.
I'm with
Wait,
Eric.
wait.
Eric, the guy who slept with the Chinese spy, Eric.
I'm not with him.
Okay. Well,
I'm not with him on that, but
I'm feeling the tone of voice and the expression on his face.
he's like, are you asking? Yeah. So she said that this 10-year-old, that it's going to impact her life. This pregnancy is going to impact her life, broadly speaking.
Right.
And therefore, it falls under the
Life of the mother.
Threatening the life of the mother, broadly speaking, and that she should be allowed to have
But
an abortion.
no, I don't
But she
know.
said, I wouldn't call it an abortion either.
Right.
Well, I think what she's trying to say, if I've given her the benefit of the doubt on this, is that she's trying to say, okay, listen, she believes that the child, the 10-year-old, as unfortunate as it is, should be able to have the child. If there's a case in which that it threatens her life, then
That's not what she's saying.
I think
I hope that's what she
I'm
really
giving-
believes.
I'm giving
But
a
to me, it comes off that she's saying it broadly.
Look,
No,
I'm just going back to like the way English language works and that part about how my mom
period and the comma
taught me
and the-
about how
Yeah.
words have meaning and coherence.
I'm going to believe somebody like Catherine is a pro-life person who is trying to speak well in front of Congress and stumbled over herself
I hope
and
so.
didn't make the right.
I sure hope so.
And even then, I would like to tell that I wouldn't have argued it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I wouldn't have argued.
How would
that
you
way.
argue it,
I think
Knox?
I would argue and say, listen, I am totally for protecting young girls. As a matter of fact, the first thing that I want to do is before we get to the 10-year-old girl who got raped, I want to deal with the crime first of all.
That's right.
If we have a young
That's
girl who's
right.
been raped, there's a crime here, and I want to know who raped her.
Right.
Because I want to make sure that she first receives justice, and let's deal with the crime.
Right.
Let's punish this person with the death penalty. And then after we do that, and we can understand we have true justice, let's just work through this real quick. Death penalty, presumed innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, so he gets a fair trial.
We want to know, did you yell, young lady? Did you ask him not to? Was there any witness? And then he gets a fair trial. And then once we find him guilty, we give him the death penalty.
Right.
Okay, if you can't agree with me on the death penalty, then we're not even talking about justice at all on anything else.
I want to begin, and if you have the time and the space to ask those questions, I think those are very important because we're talking about justice, what's right and wrong, and that's the first thing that needs to happen when there's been a crime.
Right.
But
and the guy has been charged.
Okay, but I think also the immediate comeback also is we do not believe in punishing the baby for the sins, the crimes of the father.
Right. That's right.
So there's been and you don't make it better. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
We were talking with Dr. Story last week about the effects of abortion. As horrible as it is that a 10-year-old girl would be the victim of that kind of crime, and as difficult and as painful and hard as it would be for her to carry a baby, it's even worse to add on top of all of that the guilt and shame of becoming the accomplice of a murder.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like you want to add that to the list of difficulties.
That's heavy.
Now she's gonna
For a 10-year-old.
She's gonna carry for the rest of
Wow.
her life. I was a mom.
And
I had a
murdered my
baby,
child.
and we killed the baby.
Also, too, I don't want to let him get away with the moral high ground, especially if he's sleeping with Chinese spies.
Yeah,
So,
Eric. Yeah, no, 100%.
I don't want to
100%.
give him any moral high ground because the first thing they're trying to say is, you trying to say that a 10-year-old child should have a baby?
That's right.
And I'm trying to say, first of all, you don't have any moral high ground, Swallow, if you want to kill this 10-year-old child earlier in the womb. 10 years ago, you wouldn't have a problem killing her.
That's
So
right.
you don't get to make any of these
true.
decisions.
That is true.
So,
That is true.
there's no moral high ground for these guys.
So here's what the orange gal on The View
Why are we
had to
watching
say
Orange?
about
Why
this.
are you making us watch The View?
Alyssa Farah.
I just want to
because
I
Orange
protest.
yeah.
I
look
object.
at she's orange.
Why are we watching The View? I'm sorry. I apologize.
We
on behalf
watch
of
it so
Cross
no
Politics.
one else has to.
But now they have to.
I'm personally pro-life, but the woman in this clip is the worst spokesperson for our beliefs and our movement. It has been Republican Party orthodoxy for decades that we believed in exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. And now we're seeing that flipped on its head, and people are going back against this. I don't know how anyone, to me, it's unconscionable that someone would think a 10-year-old rape victim should have to carry the baby to term and not have that decision. So that to me is stunning. And what I worry about in this very important moment in our country as we decide how we move forward after this Roe decision, I worry that the extremes of both sides are governing the debate. The vast majority of the country supports some limitations on abortion. 15 weeks models most of where Europe is, most European countries. That's a compromise that I think tens of millions of Americans could get behind. But the bill Democrats introduced to codify Roe into law supported it up until viability for a baby. So for someone like me, that's equally distressing. I think people of good faith on both sides need to be able to come together and say, what is the middle ground we can reach on?
Hey, how about we do six months of I don't know, slavery? Everybody likes 18 months of slavery. Everybody likes that. Let's compromise. We can all come together behind
6 months
something
on,
like that.
6 months off.
But this is our pro-life. Okay.
That's kind of what she said. Who's Orange Lady? Who is that lady?
That's Alyssa Farah. She's one of the hosts of the.
She's sitting in right
She
now.
replaced, or no.
Is she? Oh, did she replace?
I don't know. Actually,
I don't watch The View
yeah, actually, I
religiously
don't
to know.
She replaced.
We
Why
just
are
turned
we
it on
watching
and
this?
she
She
was
might be
there.
subbing in. But anyways, orange
Lady?
gal.
Orange Lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. That's not help. Like, I mean, I appreciate the fact that she said that the other lady, whatever her name was, testifying before Congress, didn't speak very clearly. Not a very good representative. She's totally wrong. I mean, I don't know what the Republican platform has actually said on
Well, the thing about
exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. But again, we want to underline the fact that even if that's been on the record, I mean, it's never right. It's never right to execute the baby for the crimes of the father.
That's right.
Right? What
Yeah.
in what universe do you think that taking another life is going to fix
Is gonna make right.
the first
Yeah.
crime? That
Right.
never works.
Right.
And in the very, very rare situations, the very, very rare situations where a baby is implanted in a place other than the womb,
Yeah.
Ectopic
where it
pregnancy.
cannot survive and
Yeah.
where it does directly threaten the life of the mother, the removal of that fertilized egg
Right.
is not the same thing as killing it,
Intentional.
intentionally murdering it.
Yeah.
They gotta know what life
that
is first.
distinction has to be made.
So Whoopi.
No, go to 4.
You want to go? You want
Yeah,
to go?
because we don't have enough time.
Well, because I wanted some Whoopi wisdom.
We'll save
I don't-
Whoopi for the backstage.
I don't-
Okay.
got
All right. Save
time
Whoopi.
for
All right.
Whoopi.
Go to Orange Girl number 4.
And just really quick, to be pro-life needs to mean supporting moms throughout their lives. It means paid parental leave. It means investing in foster and adoption care. It's not just, it frustrates
Universal
me so much.
pre-K.
It frustrates me so much that my party really cares about them having the baby, but then there's no benefit
Well, we
that
had
they're
a
going
whole
to have
conversation
after that.
yesterday.
This is insane. So this is
In order to be pro-life, you have to be a socialist.
Well, that's exactly right. And I think that we need to
Stop it.
We need to remember, though, that when we're talking about pro-life, I think everybody's forgotten the definition. What we're arguing for is due process. We're saying that you can't deprive somebody of life, liberty, or land without a due process. Anybody that's a human being, including the human being that
Inside
is
the mother womb.
conceived in the mother's womb.
that's right.
So until you are exercised, so due process is a negative law, right?
Right.
It's so you can't do
Can't
this,
touch it.
unless you can prove that there is a crime that this person has committed.
Right. Right.
So it doesn't mean that because I'm for due process, then I have to be a socialist on top of it.
Right.
Well, I was talking to Neil about this, and he brought up a very good point. He said, no shoes, no shirt, no service. Well, are you going to provide the shoes?
Yeah.
Are you going to provide the shirt?
Yeah.
Well, then, if you're not going to provide those things, then you can't tell me not to put on. And that's the problem. It is very, when we're talking about pro-life, they are using this to get underneath and flip it
I
to
just want to
social
point out
programs.
that Neil is single, ladies. So just so
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, don't you want that kind of
man,
logic?
with
Come
that
on.
kind of wisdom?
You need that in your life.
All right. Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm honored. Yeah. It's absolutely insane to say that then because you require due process to take someone's life, that you then owe them provision for the rest of their life.
That's right. And so they want to
No.
make everything a right. It's not a right.
No.
This is it's not a right to have health care. It's not a right to be able to have paid leave.
That's right.
Because if it is a right, then everyone has to be able to provide such a
Right,
thing.
right.
And we shouldn't have to be able to provide
and
that.
by demanding that, you're also saying that where's that coming from?
Yeah.
Everybody else.
That's right.
Everybody else. Then that means that the state can put a gun to your head and say, pay up, you owe this.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
that's called theft.
Yeah.
That's threatening. It's unjust.
It's like saying, because I want slaves free, therefore I then have to give them $60,000 a year and a whole bunch of property. That's not no. That's not how God's law works.
Right.
It's not how the world works.
And when you put when you put the care of mothers and children under the state, you're asking for them to be abused. That's not their job.
That's
Their
exactly
job is to
right.
punish evildoers. If you really want to be pro-life, let families be families.
That's right.
Let the church be the church. Get out of their way. Let them provide. Let them love. Let them care.
All right.
I think it's sad that Republicans are getting pushed into the socialistic
And we're taking
world.
it, though.
And
We're
taking
taking
that
it. All
bait.
right.
Yeah.
Robert Nestle, is he the owner of Nestle Crunch? We don't know. He might be, but we're going to find out next. If he is it a Christian Nestle Crunch? More cross politics.
I don't know what just happened there.
Coming up.
But now,
Christian chocolate.
now I want a Nestle chocolate bar. That's all I know.
They're not even sponsors. More cross politics coming up next.
This is where Dave and I plan this year's company holidays.
Let's go through the list.
Easter,
Too religious.
St. Patrick's Day?
Too white.
Mother's Day.
Way too cisgendered.
All of your usual holidays have been canceled this year.
But we still have Karl Marx's birthday!
Need a real reason to party? Find a new job at redballoon.work.
Home. It's where you build your legacy, where traditions are started, seeds are planted, meals are shared, and stories are told. We are Chris and Natalie Carpenter, owners of Story Real Estate, and our team of top agents helps people find homes in Moscow, Idaho, and around the country.
Have you thought about a move? Contact us to get connected with a top agent who shares your values and puts your family first. Or reach out to us about our Moscow relocation guide.
Wherever you're looking to go, we can help you find home. Call us at Story Real Estate or visit us at storyrealestate.com and start building your legacy.